This is the Glatt Properties Podcast. I'm your host, Bruce Gladhorn. I'm going to try to breeze through this one as quickly and easily as possible, giving you my what seems like bulletproof plan to buy an Airbnb. But full disclaimer before I go into this, we do not own any Airbnbs. So this is the plan that we have created over the past couple of months. I usually spend about 6 weeks to 3 months coming up with a plan in order to get into a new space. This is the best plan that we've got. It seems very simple, but I made a lot of phone calls, talked to a lot of people. This is what I've refined, and this is what we're going to attempt to do this year, and we're going to see if it works, okay? But Airbnb has a lot of barriers to entry, okay? They're not your standard rental. Standard rental or a long-term rental is a property that's going to be rented out for a year or more with a 1-year lease. Short-term rental is anything less than that, and Airbnb is a short-term rental. Okay, so is there a little bit more risk? Yeah, there could be in some spaces. Is there a little bit more reward? Yeah, there could be in some spaces. If you do it right, are you going to make a lot of money? Yeah, you are. Is it enough to quit your job? Nope, it's not, because you can't get another loan to buy another Airbnb without a job. So, disclaimer before you invest in short-term rentals. When you invest in a short-term rental, the bank cannot use that note to back your next note or reduce your DTI or do any funny numbers with it to make you more qualified for that property, because you don't have a legal contract with an individual that is renting that property out that says they have to pay you X amount of dollars throughout the course of the lease. Okay, so short-term loans are short-term rental loans are a little bit different, but you can get around this very simply by purchasing your first one with a mortgage that is for your second home. That is a mortgage classification that requires you to come to the table with 10% down for the property. It is a conventional loan if you qualify, and it is a fantastic way to get yourself your first investment property. Okay, have I done this? Yes. Does it work? Yes. Is it a little bit more expensive per month to float the note? Yeah. Is it annoying? No. It's part of the game. So this is how to buy an Airbnb from somebody who doesn't have an Airbnb. And if you disagree with me, send me an email. Tell me why. I'm a real estate guy. I'm not going to get offended. You have no clue what it is that we talk about and the savage stuff that we have to go through. But what you have to do is you have to tell me why. I want to know why, because if we can have a conversation that lasts 5 minutes, we might learn something that we didn't think of. I might teach you something. You might teach me something. So how to buy your first Airbnb. Number one, you get qualified for your second home in an area that is heavily in demand for a property that is almost turnkey. As turnkey as possible. That's what we're going for. You don't want to do any work to the property when you first get it. That way, you can immediately list it on Airbnb for rent. Okay? So find that area, find that market, and then get that house. Simple enough, right? Bah, wrong. Every area that has great Airbnbs has an increased price, has an increased barrier to entry, which is the price of the property. Okay? I'm just being honest with you. The places that people like to stay are the more expensive areas. It just is what it is. Can you get around this by getting like mountain houses, lake houses, doing something funny where buying a parcel of land, you put a couple of tiny homes on it? Absolutely. But I don't think you have the time to coordinate that. You need a project manager? Yeah, sure, you can hire me, but I don't want to do that. I don't even want to do that for myself. So you're going to have to pay me a pretty penny, or somebody like myself, to coordinate that. So what you want to do is you want to find an apartment or smaller house, like a small Cape Cod or something like that, or a small cabin, and go in there, have a little walkthrough, make that place look ready to go, ready to rent, and then boom, list that bad boy on Airbnb. But what you first have to do before you do all that is you have to call a bunch of vacation rental places in that area. If there are a lot of vacation rental places in that area, that is your first indicator that this is a place where you could be successful. If there are not a lot of vacation rental places in that area, you should stop wasting your time and stop searching and move to the next area. Why? Because the more time you spend looking, the less time you spend doing. And the real estate game is all about execute now. Because it's a 30-year game. It is not a 2-year game. So the sooner that you can get it, the longer you can hold it. Going back to the vacation rental places. A lot of these vacation rental places want to list and rent premier properties in that particular area. Are you going to be able to afford a premier property in, let's say, I don't know, the shore. Pick a shore, any shore. I don't care. Can you afford that? Well, if you can, that's fantastic. You should, because you're going to make a lot of money off of that. It's going to cost you a lot of money to float that bad boy, but you'll make a lot of money off of that, and you can always go there and just rent the place out by yourself, or not even rent the place out, just show up to your house and chill there for a month. Take a holiday, okay? So you want to find out areas that are in demand for rent, and you primarily want to focus on areas that can be rented out all year long, or at least 9 months out of the year. That's going to give you the longest projected cash flow on paper where you could possibly have an opportunity to rent that house out for a week or that apartment out for a weekend or something like that, okay? Because your downtime is what kills you in an Airbnb. The second thing that kills you in an Airbnb, and that's another thing that you have to take into consideration, is who is going to manage it. Are there Airbnb management companies out there? Yes, there are. Do they do a fantastic job? I'm sure they do. Do I or would I personally ever use them? Absolutely not, because it cuts into the bottom line. And I'm going to use the profits, and you should use the profits too, to buy another one. Okay? You always keep the money that you make in real estate. Take what you need, roll the rest. That's just general, that's like the First Amendment of real estate. If you put money in, leave it. The Second Amendment is don't pay taxes. That's the two rules in real estate. Figure them both out, and you'll be fine. But that's something that you have to take into consideration. Do you have a friend, a family member, a buddy, a pal, a guy over in Wichita who can go there and clean it at a discounted rate every single time there is a turnover in a tenant? Why do I say discounted rate? A cleaning company is going to charge you an arm and a leg for what it is that they do. I say an arm and a leg, but it's a service that's extremely well needed, and a good cleaning company is amazing. I've had bad cleaners, and I've had good cleaners. You want to pay for a good cleaning company. You'll get what you pay for. Big shout out to Merry Maids. They're a great cleaning company, and as always, we got these high speeds with these trucks that sound a lot faster than they actually are. They definitely don't invest in real estate. They invest in their car, and that's not a cash flowing asset. So anyway, you got your caretaker, you got your property, you got your loan, you got your market, you got everything set up. How do you do the rent? Well, that's not really up for you to decide. Or how do you do the monthly fee? That's not up for you to decide. That's up for the market to decide. List it for a couple of weeks and see what happens. If you don't get any hits in the first couple of days, drop the price. Just keep dropping. You have to take into consideration, do you want to allow pets? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? As a company policy that we have, we always allow pets in all of our rentals no matter what. We love our furry four-legged friends. They make us a lot more money at the end of the year than not loving our furry four-legged friends. Do you understand what I'm saying? People with pets will pay to have their pets with them. If you don't take advantage of that opportunity, you're an idiot. Because I can guarantee, and we saw this on an Airbnb listing, and it's 100% true, and it's completely 100% true in my real estate space and everything that I've learned over the past couple of years. Pets don't get drunk, beat the shit out of their wife. They don't get high and drive cars into things. They don't destroy walls. And that's a common misconception. They don't destroy walls. They don't destroy doors. They don't break shit. They might run through a screen door every now and again, but it's a screen. Come on. But they don't get arrested, and they don't get tried for murder for killing their wife. Pets are not as bad as people. I can guarantee it. I'm just saying, if you disagree, that's wonderful. Okay, I don't care. But if you agree, you know how much people are willing to pay for their pet. If you can figure out what the regular boarding rate is in that area to board an animal, and you make it a quarter of that, you're going to make a lot more money. I've never boarded a pet before. I don't plan on ever boarding a pet, but I'm willing to pay an extra $200 a night for, to be with my dog, because it's my dog, and I'm not giving it over to some, random person who I don't even know who's going to do God knows what with this animal and surround this animal with other animals. I'm sure there's some well qualified places out there, and that's fine or whatever. But like, let's be real. If you didn't know your ass from a hole in the ground like your average dog, and I put you in a cage for a week and I said goodbye, you'd be kind of freaked out. Like, where the hell did they go? So that's some things that you have to consider. These are some things that we are considering. This is part of our game plan. We are obviously going to attempt to get into a high demand area at the lowest price possible. I suggest you do the same. If we are successful at it, we will obviously let you know and tell you what we did. If we are unsuccessful at it, I'm obviously going to let you know and tell you what we did wrong and all that good stuff. But from us personally, and take it or leave it, I don't care. The biggest barrier to entry is the capital that it takes in order to purchase a home in a high demand area. And it is thousands. It is tens of thousands of dollars in order to purchase a home on a second home note in some of these areas. Just thinking off the top of my head from the last numbers that I did, it was going to be $50,000 for the note and $17,000 for the closing cost for a house that I was looking at on Zillow and a beach town that I was looking at. So for $67,000, I can buy 2.5 rental properties that cash flow me a minimum of $500 a month with all closing costs and bullshit fees paid. So take it for what it is. It's a high risk, high reward, and at the end of the day, if you make no money off of it, you still have a beach house or you still have a vacation home that you can go and enjoy whenever you want, and you can allow your friends to go and enjoy it. You can allow your family to go and enjoy it. If you owe somebody a favor, you can allow them to go and enjoy it. You have an asset that you can use at whenever you damn well please, and nobody can put a price on that. Seriously, you just can't. You cannot put a price on having a second home at a vacation destination. I would even go so far to say that if you calculated what it would cost you to go rent that place out for a week, if you get that number, and most of these areas, it's probably like $300-400 a night, minimum. Okay, that's $2,800 for the vacation. If you lost $2,800 for that bad boy for the year, not only is it a tax write-off, hey, still winning, but you could still go and enjoy the house whenever you want. So you're not losing. And that's only this year. You have next year to revamp your system because they're not just going to pull your note away. But yeah, so that's kind of how to buy an Airbnb from somebody who doesn't have an Airbnb. If you have any questions, if you need agents, if you need a connection, if you need a referral, if you need anything in any market, anywhere, anytime, any place, I'm your guy. I'm all over the place. I have no life. All I do is real estate. And that's why I put 2 of these podcasts out in one day, because I have a busy schedule in the next week. So I'm probably not going to be able to put something out. But yes, stay safe, everybody. Keep your head on a swivel out there and go buy your first property, no matter what it is. Just make $100 off of it every single month, and I can guarantee you will figure it out. All right, y'all.